Last year, Disney gave us an early Christmas gift when the studio brought us Encanto, and we couldn't stop talking about Bruno since. Disney's 60th animated film really did not disappoint, which is also a fair reason why the world still keeps on talking about it now. With a stellar voice cast that includes Brooklyn Nine-Nine's Stephanie Beatrice and Maluma, the movie is sure to find a special place in the pantheon of Disney's animated features. At the heart of the new Disney movie is young Mirabel, who belongs to the Madrigal family, known for their magical powers. The movie was so great that it kept audiences, both Disney fans and not, keep the story buzzing for months. And of course, the song We Don't Talk About Bruno is still at the top of the charts with tons of covers releasing. However, here's one thing, or a few things, you may have not noticed about the movie because you were so compelled by the whole film. There were a few scenes that just didn't make sense in the film. Yes, I know, sorry to burst your bubble like that, but that just happens. So if ever you're wondering, really? How could I have missed that? Then you're in luck, because today we'll be spilling all the mistakes and scenes that made no sense in Encanto's story. But before anything else, watch out for some major spoilers, and make sure first to hit that subscribe button and smash that notification bell for more updates. Now, let's open the casita's magical door. There are a few discrepancies in Disney's newest, most vivid film. Despite Encanto's great quality, there are a few logical flaws that are inexplicable. Encanto follows the Madrigal family, especially Mirabel, who is the only member of her generation who has not been granted a special ability. Encanto imparts valuable lessons regarding the importance of not overburdening a child with unrealistic expectations. Encanto also examines the dangers of having no expectations at all. Despite the high quality of Encanto, there have been some inconsistencies and logical flaws in the story that have been raised. 1. Abuela accepted Bruno immediately. Bruno's family had been rejecting him for years. Abuela, the family's most important member, was a part of the problem. Bruno's authority had more consequences than she liked, and his departure became the family's hidden shame. She eagerly embraced him when he reappeared in front of her after such a long absence. No one had informed her what Bruno had done for Mirabel, but after the home fell apart, her attitude changed completely. Bruno was also taken aback, as he was plainly unaccustomed to receiving such adoration. Bruno's disappearance was a family tragedy, and if this film teaches us anything, it's that traumas are difficult to overcome. 2. The mountains are the only thing deterring intruders. The attackers were blasted backwards once the blessing was granted on the Madrigal family, and mountains developed around the area to keep people away. The film, however, never completely explained how this portion of the magic worked. Bruno claimed that he stayed because the mountains were too high, but it was uncertain whether he could leave. Anyone who may have attempted to get entry faces the same uncertainty. The movie should have gone into more detail on whether the mountains themselves served as a deterrent to strangers, or whether they were hidden from the world by some type of enchantment. If the magic was entirely based on the mountain's height, someone would ultimately fly above them. 3. What the animals eat is never explained. Animals from the neighborhood flocked into Antonio's room after he received his gift. Despite the notion that pests and rats would love to live in a human home, there were no pests or rodents amid the horde. Although Antonio's area was lush and green on the inside, the diet of the meat-eating beasts inside is never revealed. Antonio had to warn his jaguar not to eat some of Bruno's rats, but this creature is constantly surrounded by its natural prey and must eat to survive. The other prey animals can't possibly be safe. 4. Bruno's room has so many stairs. Bruno's room is horribly designed. When most of the family members are still children, they receive blessings and designated rooms. Bruno was met with sand, steps, and terrifying statues inside of a beautiful and safe room. Mirabel took a long time to reach the top of the stairs since they were so steep. Given that people who are ready to sleep want to get into bed right away, a child would find the literal climb up those steps to be a major annoyance. The steps had deteriorated, but even in their prime, they must have been dangerous, and one terrible fall could have sent someone careening to their untimely death. 5. Casita has no power over rooms. Surprisingly, Casita, the Sentinel house where the Madrigal family lives, has no control over the rooms. Casita, on the other hand, appears to be capable of moving every tile, railing, and piece of wood attached to it. Even as it was crumbling, the amazing mansion was able to rescue the lives of every family member. It's incomprehensible that Casita would have no impact over the rooms. The house and the rooms both came into being as a result of some magical blessing. Casita shouldn't have Mirabel even when she was on the edge of collapsing after chasing Bruno inside the walls. 6. Mirabel's mother didn't seem to believe Mirabel's story. Mirabel spotted cracks in the house's floor and walls during Antonio's celebration. In the midst of her anguish, she slashed herself and raced to tell Abuela what she had seen. Despite her reluctance to confess it, Abuela believed Mirabel's warning. Mirabel's mother, on the other hand, did not appear to believe her narrative and advised her to keep her head down in order to avoid ending up like Bruno. This contradicts Luisa's later statement in Encanto, in which she indicated that she overheard the adults discussing the fading magic by happenstance. 7. Not everyone knows Mirabel has no gift. Astonishingly, Mirabel's lack of a gift is not widely known. In a smaller town, gossip travels like wildfire, and keeping a secret is impossible, especially from her cousin Dolores, who hears every secret said within a mile radius. Mirabel was unaware that she lacked a gift, and neither did the musicians who tossed her an accordion. Either that, or they were genuinely interested in hearing her sing about being an outcast. They wouldn't be the only ones if it was the latter. Another person gives Mirabel a basket for party preparations and appears to take pleasure in reminding her that her ceremony was a flop. 8. Abuela has her own room despite having no gift. Abuela, like Mirabel, doesn't appear to have a special ability. Her job is to keep an eye on both the miracle candle and her family. Despite the fact that she has no special abilities, she has her own door. This seems unjust, especially since Mirabel, who lacks any abilities, does not have her own room. She has designated the nursery as her personal space, which she has to share with her younger relatives. The family didn't appear to have any plans for finding her alternative lodging. This would have been a problem if the Madrigal family had grown to include more children. 9. Bruno's gift was seen as a curse. Bruno's gift was viewed as a negative by the entire town. They assumed his prophecies meant he was casting curses on people. Isabella's inquiry, however, revealed that not all of his forecasts were false. Bruno's prophecies appear to be immutable in the eyes of the public. However, his forecasts may be ambiguous, and futures, like Mirabel's, may finish in a variety of ways. People should have a higher chance of avoiding misfortunes if they know what will happen in the future. It appears that Mirabel could have easily changed the course of events if she had chosen to ignore Bruno's prophecy. 10. The miracle is bestowed upon the Madrigal after losing Pedro. Alma and Pedro were forced to flee their homes, along with a group of other people. They needed to locate to a new place to call home in order to stay safe. Their assistants, on the other hand, pursued them. Pedro sacrificed himself in order to give his family a chance to flee. The Madrigal family was only blessed with a miracle after this tragedy. The innocents escaping had already suffered a great lot. It makes no sense that they have to prove themselves before receiving any kind of help from these mysterious powers, given that their magic has no source. That's all for today. We hope you enjoyed that video, and if you did, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and smash that notification bell for more episodes.